On her first day of school, the girl's classmates hiked her skirt up an inch.
短くして履く返しちゃう。
For a teenage girl, that kind of logic was hard to resist. So Sayaka learned to curl her hair, curl her lashes, and wear lipstick. She didn't learn a thing from her textbooks, but her makeup skills? Top-notch. Before long, middle school turned into high school. And sure enough, Sayaka and her girlfriends landed in the worst class in the school. Their textbooks became makeup bags. Their pens became mascara wands. Studying was long forgotten. Sayaka became a total bottom-of-the-class party girl. After school, Sayaka and her friends took photo booth pics and hit the clubs. They did it all. Every day was wrapped in carefree fun. Nobody cared about Sayaka's future because all the family's attention was on her little brother, the baseball prodigy their father had groomed since childhood. He carried the family's sole dream, while Sayaka was just, in her father's words, the hopeless daughter. But it was this very girl nobody believed in, who would slowly rewrite her own fate. One day, during a surprise inspection, her homeroom teacher found a pack of cigarettes in her bag that crossed the school's red line. The principal wanted her expelled, but if she was willing to rat out her friends who smoked, she'd be let off the hook. Sayaka wouldn't do it. She didn't say a word. When her mother heard, she rushed to the school. Everyone expected her to explode. Instead, she told the principal, "Is making her betray her friends your school's approach to education. If you believe that's a good education, I'd rather she was expelled." Her words left everyone speechless. In the end, Sayaka got a one-semester suspension instead. She thought this surprise vacation would be paradise, total freedom. But once the fun wore off, the emptiness crept in. Her mother could see Sayaka was running from something, so she quietly signed her up for cram school. And that became the true turning point of Sayaka's life. Her tutor was Mr. Subota, an average-looking middle-aged man. When he saw Sayaka in high heels, a crop top, and big blonde curls, he was too stunned to speak.
ガン見しすぎじゃね？
ごめん。いや、かっこいいなって思ってさ。僕にも今風のファッション教えてよ。
その顔で今風は無理っしょ。
僕のお腹じゃへそ出しは無理か。
Mr. Subota's gentle manner put Sayaka at ease. To gauge where she really stood, he gave her a placement test. Sayaka panicked. She couldn't understand any of it. The answer sheet was filled to the brim, and not a single answer was right. Sayaka gave an embarrassed laugh, but Subota didn't mock her at all. He read through her fully filled out answer sheet and told her that even though every answer was wrong, she hadn't left a single blank. He kept praising her, one compliment after another. Sayaka couldn't believe what she was hearing. No teacher had ever praised her before. Next came choosing a target university, but Sayaka had never even heard of a single one. She hadn't cracked a book in 5 years.
思い切って東大にする？
東大？ガリ勉のダサいとこしかいないんじゃね？
じゃあ、慶応は？慶応ボーイって聞いたことない？
なんかイケメン揃ってそう。
じゃあ、慶応に決めちゃおう。
The teacher had her write KO on her application form. It sounded ridiculous, but Sayaka still told her mother when she got home. Her mother froze for a second, then smiled. Her friends laughed themselves silly when they heard. But laughter aside, Sayaka started doing practice problems even at parties. With zero foundation, she had to start from 4th grade material. And Mr. Subota was a frighteningly good teacher. Not only could he tutor a dozen students one-on-one, he tailored a custom study plan to each student's interests. On the second test, Sayaka went from 0 points to 5. 5 points might mean nothing to anyone else, but for Sayaka, it was a first in her entire life. But the teacher soon realized just how lost Sayaka was. Textbooks alone couldn't fix it. He asked her to sketch a map of Japan, and she just drew a circle.
あ、もうさやかそういうのほんと無理だわ。
いやいや、でもそれ、人間としての基本性能だから。
いや、先生そう言うけどさ、さやかの友達絶対知らないから。
Back home, Sayaka asked her little sister how to tell north from south. Her little sister in elementary school answered it with ease. Then her father chimed in to rain on her parade. "A clueless girl like you ain't getting into KO. They tricked you. It's a scam. I ain't paying for it." Hearing her father's words, Sayaka's heart sank. Her mother stepped in and shut him down. She took care of the family by day and worked night shifts. Yet she never once told Sayaka, "You can't do it." And Sayaka didn't let that faith go to waste. She showed up early to cram school every day, not just for her teacher's praise, but to live up to her mother's support. Suddenly, there was a commotion outside. A boy got shoved through the door. His family had been lawyers for 3 generations, but when it came to him, he'd rather game his whole life than practice law. Mr. Subota didn't scold him. Instead, he complimented the boy's gaming skills. The boy admitted he didn't even like games that much. It was just to spite his father. Mr. Subota said he understood.
すんごい復習の方法、思いついちゃったんだけど。
なんだよ、教えろよ。
君もまずは大学に入る。頑張って司法試験にも受かる。
それじゃ親父が喜ぶだけじゃねえかよ。
でも君は弁護士にはならない。
は？
お父さんを散々喜ばせた後で、どん底に突き落とすの。めちゃくちゃ残酷だろ？
Then something amazing happened. The game console in the boy's hands became a textbook. Sayaka swore the teacher had to be magic, but Mr. Subota simply told her, "The more you know, the wider your mind opens. And you can solve problems no one else can." He firmly believed there are no unteachable students. Find the right approach, teach to the person, and everyone has limitless potential. His upbeat optimism gave Sayaka a little more faith in that far-off dream. Looking at the blonde hair, Sayaka had died just for summer break. Subota told her if she wanted to catch up, there'd be no going out that summer. But Sayaka already had plans, and she wasn't about to bail on her friends. The teacher respected her choice and met her halfway. They played a quiz game. A wrong answer meant wiping off some makeup. A right one meant getting her look back and going out. The teacher claimed that back in the day, he was hotter than Leo DiCaprio. Gossip-loving Sayaka was instantly hooked.
よし。じゃあ夏休み中に中学英語を終わらせたらな。
速攻終わらせるよ。
Lured by that photo, her karaoke nights turned into vocab drills. Even when she did sing, it was in English. Her friends realized Sayaka wasn't all talk. Her books were covered in careful, earnest notes. Sayaka stopped fearing her old self and made peace with the girl she used to be. She started to believe one thing: a life where you've truly tried. Even if you fail, you can hold your head high. Summer flew by. Sayaka gave it everything and caught up on all the English she'd missed, passing her progress test with ease. The teacher kept his promise and brought out his handsome middle school photo, which sent the whole room into hysterics. Heartthrob, please. He looked like a total dork in that easy atmosphere. Mr. Subota talked about his own school days. Turns out he'd been a terrible student too, and teaching at the cram school started as just a side gig. But as time went on, he fell in love with the work.
もっともっと生徒の能力も引き出せる。そう提案したら、塾長も賛同してくれて、銀行からお金まで借りて、教室もこんな風に改造してくれたんだ。
That's when the students realized the janitor cleaning the classroom was actually the school's director. So for the director's sake too, Subota was determined to deliver results. None of them were fighting alone after all. Sayaka's planner was no longer full of fun and games, but packed with study schedules. Soon it was the first day of term, and Sayaka finally returned to school. But in her very first class, she fell asleep at her desk.
本気で改心したってとこ見せたら、ちゃんとした就職先紹介して推薦状も書いてやれるんだでよ。
いいの。さやか慶応行くから。
え？
Sayaka's words had the whole class in stitches. Her teacher thought she was living in a fantasy, but her best friend knew how hard she'd been working.
じゃあ先生、受かったらどうすんの？
お前全裸でな、逆立ちして校庭一周したるて。
みんな聞いた今の。
落ちたら工藤はどうすんだ？
そしたら、さやかが全裸で逆立ちっしょ。
Nobody took the bet seriously, but Sayaka was fired up. She declared her dream out loud in front of the whole class.
工藤さやかは慶応大学に合格します。
One day on her way to cram school, Sayaka spotted a teacher from her school at the door. She quietly followed and found her homeroom teacher warning Subota.
工藤にできるわけがない。
難しいことに挑戦しているのは僕だって分かっています。
少しぐらい勉強したってダメな生徒はダメなんですよ。
西村先生、僕はダメな生徒などいないと思うんです。ダメな指導者がいるだけですよ。
Every word from Mr. Subota brimmed with faith in Sayaka, while the school teacher had nothing but sneers. Hiding around the corner, Sayaka heard the whole exchange. Her eyes stung, and she nearly cried. It wasn't just her mom. Someone else believed in her with all their heart. From that day on, Sayaka pushed even harder. Her walls were covered in notes and corrections. Even her headboard was plastered with flashcards. Studying late into the night, out the door before dawn. Every minute went toward one single goal. Her mother saw it all, and quietly went to thank the teacher. But even with her rapid progress, Sayaka had started far too late. At 3 sessions a week, KO was simply out of reach. The teacher wanted to bump it up from 3 sessions to 6, which meant higher tuition fees. That night, back home, Mom quietly talked it over with her younger daughter.
さやかとまゆみのために積み立てた保険と定期を解約させてほしいの。いつか穴埋めするから。
別にいいよ。お姉ちゃん頑張ってです。どうせパパには頼めないんでしょ。
Her family's support moved Sayaka deeply and filled her with fresh drive. The next day at cram school, her mother arrived with a thick stack of cash, the full weight of a mother's love for her daughter. Sayaka never abandoned her friends. She just never sang another song at karaoke. Her friends could see her resolve. After karaoke, they all went to the hot springs together, where her best friend told her in all seriousness.
もうさやかと遊ぶのやめるわ。だってあんた無理してるでしょ。無理してないよ。さやかはみんなと一緒にいたいの。
それで落ちたらうちらのせいにされんじゃん。
うん。たまったもんじゃないよね。さやかのこと嫌いになったんだ。なわけないでしょ。
誰に何言われても平気で頑張ってるさやか。
超かっこいいよ。
The steady look in her friend's eyes brought Sayaka to tears. They promised to hang out again after the exams. Senior year arrived right on schedule. Her brother got into the baseball high school he wanted, and her sister made it into her dream middle school. The family happily took a group photo at their front door. The more she studied, the more Sayaka understood about the world. The girl who once only knew makeup could now discuss the struggles of the working class. The teacher was proud. He gave her a slim booklet of past exam questions. Sayaka opened it and went pale. She couldn't solve a thing. She slipped away to the rooftop and stared into space alone for a long while, until the teacher came up. He didn't lecture her. Instead, he pulled out an egg.
これをここに立てられると思う？
そんなん丸いんだから無理っしょ。
And after a bit of finessing, the egg actually stood upright.
クララが立った。
けどそれを君は知らないから丸いという先入観だけで諦めた。
It all clicked for Sayaka. She cut her long hair, put on the plainest clothes, stopped worrying about the girl in the mirror, and focused on every word in her notebook. The house glowed late into the night. Mom worked night shifts for money. Her sister took over the housework, and the teacher stayed up all night writing her study plans. Sayaka knew everyone was paving the way for her impossible dream. Yet across 3 mock exams, her scores stayed at the bottom. She began to doubt herself. Maybe this path just wasn't for her. Her brother was struggling too, no matter how hard he tried. He'd skipped practice for a whole week. Their father called him a coward and demanded he apologize to his coach. The boy shoved his furious father to the ground. He was done carrying his father's baseball dream. Sayaka tried to comfort him.
ここまで頑張ってきたんだから、もうちょい踏ん張りね。
頑張ったってどうにもならん世界だってあんだよ。兄貴もさ、バカな夢追いかけんのもうやめろよ。まさか本気で慶応行けると思っとんのか。
Her brother's words pushed the already discouraged Sayaka deep into self-doubt. She desperately wanted to escape all the pressure, escape the crushing weight of her own dream. Everyone at cram school was improving. Only Sayaka was stuck in place. An unspeakable despair wrapped around her heart.
先生、もういいです。慶応じゃなくていいです。
本気で言ってるの？
何のために勉強してんのかわからなくなったの。さやかはこの1年毎日踏ん張ってきたの。
目標を下げたらどんどん低い方へと流れていくよ。
別にいいんじゃね。もともと低いとこを流れてた人間だし、先生みたいにいつも前向きじゃいられんもんでさ。
じゃあやめれば。そんなんじゃどこにも入れないよ。
Sayaka stormed out of the cram school in despair. On the rainy streets that night, she was soaked to the bone. Like a lost child, watching her mother working so hard at her job, Sayaka broke down sobbing. Her mother held her close, comforting her over and over. Wrapped in that warmth, Sayaka finally understood. Family was never about making you win. It's about giving you peace, even her silent, distant father. Her mom said he was a good man deep down. He just didn't know how to show his love. For days, Sayaka skipped cram school. Wasting time at home? Then her father's angry roar came through the window. Her brother had finally worked up the courage to quit the baseball team. Their father laid into him relentlessly. Their mother couldn't take it anymore. She swung a baseball bat and smashed the car window, letting out years of pent-up hurt all at once.
恥ずかしいって何なんですか。私はさやかのことで何度も学校に呼び出されてきたけど、恥ずかしいと思ったことだって一度もありません。知ってました。あなた龍太はね、試合の前の晩はいつも喘息の発作が出るの。失敗してあなたに叱られるのを恐れてたの。野球することに怯えてたの。一番辛いのはあなたの夢を押し付けられた龍太じゃないんですか。だからあの子は行き場をなくしたんです。
龍太のことで口出しするな。お前はさやかと真由美の面倒だけ見とりゃいいんだわ。
私はさやかと真由美と龍太の3人の母親です。
The two daughters held their weeping mother tight, hearts aching for her. That night, Sayaka went to see her brother. He was crushed and refused to go back, no matter what. In his defeated attitude, Sayaka saw a mirror of herself these past few days. She decided to pick her dream back up.
お願いがあるんだけど。
Her mom took her on the train to the gates of her dream school. The warm, studious campus atmosphere made Sayaka long to belong. As they were leaving, her mom wanted to take a photo of her, but Sayaka refused. She'd take one after she got in. Unlike the joke it once was, this time her voice was rock solid. She returned to to the cram school, startling the teacher. Sayaka gave him a heartfelt apology for what she'd said that day and for the weakness she'd shown. On the next mock exam, Sayaka finally scored high enough to stun her whole family. She raced home in excitement, only to find her father burning her brother's baseball gear.
出た。悪かったね。わしも気済んだで。これからお前の好きに生きりゃええわ。
But baseball was all her brother knew. He had no idea what else he could do. Sayaka handed him her test results. That passing score left the whole family in disbelief.
データさやかは行くよ慶応に
Her father took the paper and said nothing for a long time. For the first time, he really looked at his daughter, as if meeting Sayaka for the very first time. With exams approaching, Mr. Subota filled out her applications. The first two were different departments at KO. The third was a safety school. In the final 2 months before the exam, Sayaka's room stayed lit night after night for her dream school. She gave it absolutely everything. And then, exam day arrived. Heavy snow was falling. As Sayaka was about to walk to the exam site, her father stopped her. He said he'd already put snow tires on the car. It was the first time he'd ever offered to drive her anywhere. That van had only ever carried her brother to baseball games. Now it carried his other child, off to a battlefield of her own. Halfway there, her father pulled over. He grabbed a shovel and got out, braving the snow to dig out cars stuck on the roadside. Watching her father's back through the window, Sayaka finally understood. The quiet man her mother always spoke of truly deserved to be understood. Sayaka made it into the exam hall, nothing but the scratch of pencils around her. Meanwhile, her brother worked up the nerve to approach their father.
親父の夢叶えてやれなくてごめんな。でも楽しかった。親父と野球できてよかったわ俺。何しとんだ。竹が。
Their father, never one for words, simply motioned for him to come help. Enter the exam number. Click search. As expected, Sayaka passed her safety school. On the last day of cram school, Sayaka gave Mr. Subota a letter. He accepted it solemnly and gave her a good luck coffee in return. Mr. Subota took her letter to a temple and prayed with all his heart that his student's dream would come true. Outside the exam hall, Sayaka downed the entire bottle of lucky coffee, took a deep breath, and walked in. Looking at her teacher's signature, she felt full of confidence. But right after writing her name, a sharp pain hit her stomach. That lucky coffee had kicked in mid-exam. Escorted by a proctor, she kept running to the bathroom. At one point, she was too rattled to even read the questions, but she gritted her teeth and finished every single one. After the exam, Sayaka collapsed onto her bed. Her mom called to cheer her on, so she pulled herself together and opened her books once more. For the essay exam the next day, Sayaka recalled every structure and technique Subota had taught her and wrote the most honest words she could, stroke by stroke. The moment she stepped out of the exam hall, she saw sunlight breaking through the snow clouds. She didn't know if these 3 days would change her life, but she knew she'd given it everything. Then came the most agonizing wait. Seeing not accepted on the screen, a heartbroken Sayaka called Mr. T. Subota, hearing she'd missed her first choice. He shared her disappointment, but reminded her the second choice was still in play. Her old friends came to see her. They goofed around like old times, not sparing a thought for results. Before the second choice results came out, Mr. Subota wrote Sayaka a long letter. As she read it, her eyes welled up. She typed in her exam number once more. The instant the result popped up, Sayaka froze, accepted. Sayaka actually made it into Kyo's policy management program. She raced straight to the cram school.
そうか
Everyone burst into happy tears, not because of the score, but because Sayaka had actually done it. This wasn't a miracle. It was hard work, built one step at a time, every sleepless night of grinding, her mother working late into the night, Mr. Subota's countless words of gentle encouragement. Sayaka brought her acceptance letter back to school, and her teacher honored that old bet. This long, hard road finally came to a perfect end. The day she left home, the sky was dreamlike blue. Her father walked quietly ahead, just like when she was little. Sayaka hopped onto his broad back, and that's where this story of youth ends. Maybe you were once that person too, overlooked, misunderstood, written off. But remember, as long as you keep going, someone will quietly hold an umbrella over you. Exams aren't the finish line of life. They're the starting line. Life's real test has only just begun. May you journey through half a lifetime and return still young at heart.